The following video is part of the car weekend videos that I did. I went out in the garage and went after it. Just started tackling things, not necessarily in any specific order. So I think I ended up taking the dash out of the car sometime between getting the steering box out but before getting the front end out of the car. Basically, I videoed all weekend and knowing that I was going to cut a bunch of big long videos up into a bunch of little videos, and this is one of those videos. So here we go. Dashboard, took it out, check it out. Thanks. I just pushed the grommets through to hold these into the firewall. So I should be able to push these all the way out, at least to the firewall. See what we got going. Sorry for the unsteady camera work. So there's choke or throttle, and this has got some tape put onto the back of it that won't let it come through the dash. Sorry for the bad camera work. There we go. See how they had to put a kink in it to take up some distance? Interesting. Now these choke and throttle rods sell on eBay for about 16 bucks a pair. I might have to end up grabbing a pair because, as you can see, these are pretty kinky. We might be able to straighten them out. I don't know. We'll check it out. We are going to try to take out the dashboard. As far as I can tell, it's held on by 2 screws. And I'm going to use these vice grips, rather crude, but to hold the square nut on the back. I'm not sure what all cables are attached to stuff on the Speedo and all that kind of stuff back here. I'm just going to end up cutting some wires. Wires are going to be replaced. Obviously, the speedometer cable may or may not, depending on its condition. So that's one. There's screws up here, that's right. I'm gonna need a tetanus shot after getting cut on my ankle with this rusty crap. Let's see if we can find out how many screws that are hopefully thread certain are in the front of the dashboard. Oh, there's the battery cover. 6. This is gonna be fun, guys. I'm gonna have to go from the outside, and I'm gonna have to take the windshield and prop it up. Excuse my fat butt. Let's reposition the camera. Gonna go handheld for a second, just so you guys can see. There are 6 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that hold in the dashboard. So I'm gonna have to prop up the windshield frame and try and get on them that way. Good news is we can get on them. Let's just pray that they're nut certs and not this one's threaded. Gonna get a different screwdriver because this one is a touch too long. He's just a little guy. Just a little screw. So screwdriver that's short enough. The blade is too wide. Naturally. How's that work? Really? It seemed to me. Yes. Yes. Okay, the dashboard's acting like it wants to fall out from there, so we're going to leave this guy in. I'm going to take the other two out from here. Here's what I can't figure out. I'm still not sure whether this car was a deluxe or a standard. Now this windshield frame doesn't look like it's been chromed. It looks like it's been painted black, which would denote a standard. But I found other things in the car that make me think it's a deluxe. So I don't know. I think the hinges are adjusted properly. The frame to sit right. Okay, this is doing the same thing. Okay, it's still stuck on there pretty good. Hopefully it'll hold on there long enough that I can sneak around and pull the dash out. Kind of pinching the dash together to the windshield frame to be able to get the screw to back out properly. Otherwise it wouldn't want to back out properly. Okay, so that screws out. Okay, so, yep, I see it again. The knob needs to come off the windshield regulator. Good call. Makes sense. Not sure if this is a stock one or not. We're going to hold on to it like it is. We are just going to cut wires. I don't know what you are. I don't know what you are. Now we are to the speedometer cable. Hey, the fuse box and all kinds of crazy stuff. Look at this, kids. Time for Wiggly Cam. This is your fuse box from 1936. This is your whole wiring harness. Part of it runs out to the engine through a hole in the firewall. Part of it runs to your temperature, and this is your ammeter and temperature. This is oil pressure and I don't remember what, speedometer. So this is your speedometer cable. This is your radio antenna that would run down. It runs up along here because the radio head would be up here, and the antenna ran along and attached up to the chicken wire that was in the ceiling. This is the light that runs across to your switch right there that then runs your overhead light that's back there. Everything is free now except for, and I just got my own light. Sorry guys. Everything is free except for the speedometer cable, which runs down around here and actually comes back up here to this gear that is turned at a specific ratio to give you the proper speed regarding how many teeth are here in this gear and how many teeth are in the rear end gear. Doesn't have anything to do with the transmission. It's how fast this shaft turns in relation to the rear end and the size of the tires. Yep, just like that, it broke loose. probably going to end up getting a new one of these. I can't imagine that this turns properly. Can't see what's in there. Did the end come off of it? I'll have to research what the end is supposed to look like. Let's get the dashboard out. I have just learned something looking at the back of the dashboard. The reason these light bulbs are up here like this, you can't quite see it here. There's a little window right here and here, and on this side of the instruments, so that you can kind of see them up here. Not really. There's little windows up here, and a window up here, so that the light shines down through it. Let me see if I can get my light to work that way. Yeah, you can see it in there now. See that light right there and right there? And that window's too dark. It's clean. Maybe there isn't a window on there. There's gotta be a window. We'll figure it out. There's one for the speedometer for sure. It's pretty cool. So we have oil and fuel, speedometer, amp, and temperature. The temperature, there we go. So I was looking for the temperature gauge. The temperature gauge is some kind of crazy thing with fluid in it. I will probably never get the temperature gauge fixed properly, because I'm not going to mess with the fluid aspect of it. Let me see if I can figure out how to get these lights off. Ta-da! And the bulb twists in there. Oh, or it breaks in your hand. Should have known better. What a pain in the butt to get out. Just broke that bulb too. Yeah. You've been living in the desert that long, it's bound to happen. This is a bullet connector. Does that come out of there? That'd be interesting if it did, yeah. It's a little bullet connector. Pushes in right there. So then this disconnects. And that's the light switch. Interesting, dash lights. Run by bullet connectors. Now, this is the ammeter, and some of them have a wire that runs through it like this, and some of them have a wire that connect. I've read just enough to know that I don't know what the deal is. So we'll have to check that out. Very cool dashboard. This is where the column drop hits. These were attached to the dashboard through the windshield frame. This is the hole for the windshield opener closer. This whole thing allows for that frog leg thing to open and contract. Believe it or not, the glove box is in pretty good shape, except you can see some light through these seams if you open it up. There is a little bit of light in there, but everything else, I've got the clips. This is an interesting little piece of upholstery. Little rubber dots going there. I think I bought those from somebody. Doesn't really close all the way, but what you gonna do? It's got some interesting patina. I'm not sure how I want to finish it. This is your ashtray for all you smokers. I have to go over top of this right here, what they call the waterfall. Now the fact that this is in here and the waterfall is not there makes me think that this was a standard. That's one of the things that makes me think it's a standard. But, oh, there we go. Gonna have a cigar lighter here in a second. I was looking in the fuse box, and there was actually a fuse in it. I think probably the previous owners, because it's new. I mean, like, it's in good shape. The blade's all there. So I got a feeling it's new. But I will take the fuse box out with a couple screws here, No need to keep it hanging around, and then I can pull the wiring harness out through the firewall. There is a whole fire resistant, but this isn't asbestos, it probably is. This whole thing is fire resistant. What is this? Oh, mud daubers. There's a whole pad on the wall that supposedly comes off. I'm afraid to try and take it off for fear of chewing it up, but we'll see what happens. This is connects to the throttle pedal, and it is right here. So you push down on this, and it pulls the throttle cable back towards you and opens it up and guns it. Raw horsepower. So that's all the video I have pertaining to taking the dashboard out of the car. I haven't taken it apart yet. I might do a quick video with that. I really haven't decided whether I'm going to take the dashboard apart, take the gauges out and clean them up, or if I like the patina. Just haven't figured it out yet. Do me a favor, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and I'd really appreciate it if you leave me a comment. Helps a ton. Thanks everybody for stopping in. Take care.